School, a place of learning, growth, and for some, unexplained terror. The stories we tell tonight are whispered among students, passed down through generations, and shrouded in chilling mystery. These are true horror school stories. Tonight, we delve into the dark heart of school hallways and classrooms, where whispers echo with the chilling memories of events that defy explanation. Prepare yourself for 3 terrifying tales, ripped from the pages of school history and etched into the very fabric of these haunted halls. And to truly immerse you in the bone-chilling essence of these stories, we'll forego the background music, allowing the raw, unnerving silence to amplify every creak, every whisper, every terrifying scream. Our first story takes us deep into the shadowed corridors of Northgate High, where at the end of the school's oldest hallway lies room 213. Sealed shut, untouched for decades, room 213 stands as a grim reminder of a dark incident from the school's past. Locals say the room once belonged to Miss Eleanor Wright, a beloved English teacher known for her infectious laugh and passion for literature. Miss Wright, however, met a tragic end, found lifeless one morning at her desk, a single red pen clutched in her hand. The cause of death? A mystery. No one could explain what had happened to her. Students began reporting strange occurrences near room 213. Footsteps echoing from within the sealed classroom, the distinct scent of Miss Wright's lavender perfume wafting through the hallway, and the faint sound of a woman's laughter echoing from behind the room's heavy wooden door. One evening, a group of students decided to investigate the strange occurrences. Armed with a camera and a voice recorder, they crept down the darkened hallway, the air thick with anticipation and dread. As they neared room 213, the temperature dropped, sending a shiver down their spines. The camera, inexplicably, died. The batteries, brand new, were suddenly drained. It was as if the room itself was drawing the energy away. As they fumbled with the equipment, a blood-curdling scream pierced the silence. One of the students, a girl named Sarah, claimed to have seen a figure standing in the room's window. A woman in a long dress, her face obscured by shadows, staring directly at them. Panic seized the group. They fled, their footsteps pounding against the wooden floor, the image of the woman seared into their minds. The next day, Sarah refused to return to school, claiming that the ghostly figure of Miss Wright had visited her in her dreams, her voice a chilling whisper, begging for help. To this day, room 213 remains locked, a chilling reminder of the beloved teacher who met an untimely end. Some say that Miss Wright's spirit still roams the halls of Northgate High, her laughter a haunting echo in the silence of the empty corridors. Others believe she is searching for someone to help her find peace. The old school bell, which hasn't rung in years, sometimes tolls in the dead of night, as if calling out to the living to remember the past. Whispers of her name can be heard if you listen closely, a reminder that some stories never truly end. And so, the legend of room 213 lives on, a ghostly tale that continues to haunt the halls of Northgate High. Our next tale takes us to the hallowed halls of the Grandview Academy, a prestigious school with a legacy steeped in tradition and some say shrouded in darkness. This institution has seen generations of students pass through its doors, each leaving behind their own stories and secrets. At the heart of the academy lies the library, a grand space filled with countless volumes and an eerie silence that seemed to whisper secrets from the past. The library, with its towering shelves and dim lighting, has always been a place of mystery and intrigue. One fateful evening, a student named Ethan found himself alone in the library, the weight of an upcoming exam heavy on his mind. The pressure to succeed was immense, and he sought solace among the books, hoping to find some peace and quiet to study. As he delved into his studies, he noticed a strange presence, a feeling of being watched. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up, and he couldn't shake the sensation that he was not alone. He glanced up, his heart skipping a beat. The library, which had seemed so welcoming moments before, now felt oppressive and foreboding. Standing in the dimly lit aisle between towering bookshelves was a figure. It was barely visible in the shadows, but its presence was undeniable. Tall, gaunt, with eyes that seemed to glow in the darkness. The figure's appearance was otherworldly, and Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. Ethan froze, his breath catching in his throat. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, and his mind raced with questions. The figure moved closer, its footsteps completely silent against the library's plush carpet. Each step seemed to echo in Ethan's mind, amplifying his fear. Ethan could now make out the figure's clothing, a tattered academic gown that seemed to belong to a bygone era. The fabric was worn and frayed, hinting at a long and troubled history. The figure stopped a few feet away, its eyes, cold and empty, fixed on Ethan. Those eyes seemed to bore into his soul, searching for something. Terror threatened to consume him, but Ethan, his mind racing, decided to confront the apparition. He knew he had to find out what this ghostly figure wanted. "Who are you?" he stammered, his voice barely a whisper. The words felt heavy in the air, as if they carried the weight of his fear. The figure remained silent, its gaze unwavering. It was as if it was waiting for something, a sign or a question that would unlock its secrets. Ethan tried again, his voice gaining a sliver of courage. He knew he had to be brave if he wanted to uncover the truth. "What do you want?" he asked, his voice stronger this time. He needed answers, and he was determined to get them. As if in response to his question, the figure extended a skeletal hand, pointing towards a specific section of the library. The gesture was slow and deliberate, filled with an eerie purpose. Then, as quickly as it appeared, the figure vanished, leaving Ethan trembling in the eerie silence. The sudden absence of the figure was almost as unsettling as its presence. Driven by a morbid curiosity, Ethan cautiously made his way to the section the figure had pointed to. His mind was filled with questions and a sense of dread. His heart pounded in his chest as he reached the indicated shelf and pulled out the dusty volume. The book felt heavy in his hands, as if it carried the weight of the past. The book, a centuries-old journal, chronicled the life and tragic demise of a former student, a young man who had been unjustly accused of cheating and expelled, leading him to take his own life within the very walls of the library. The story was heartbreaking and filled with sorrow. Ethan slammed the book shut, a cold dread washing over him. He couldn't believe the injustice that had been done. He realized that the figure he had encountered was the vengeful spirit of the expelled student, forever bound to the library, seeking justice for the wrong that had been done to him. The ghost's pain and anger were palpable, and Ethan knew he had to find a way to help. Chapter 3, The Cursed Locker. Our final story takes us to the bustling hallways of Westbridge High, where amidst the sea of lockers lies locker number 13. Locker 13, weathered and scratched, bore the weight of an unsettling reputation. It was said to be cursed. It all began with a student named Jessica, a popular cheerleader who, after using locker 13, experienced a string of misfortunes. Her perfect grades plummeted, her friends turned against her, and she suffered a series of minor but unsettling accidents. At first it was dismissed as bad luck, but as the incidents escalated, whispers of a curse began to circulate. Then another student, a quiet boy named Michael, reluctantly used locker 13 after his own locker was vandalized. Almost immediately, Michael's life took a dark turn. He began having vivid nightmares. His artwork, once filled with vibrant colors, became dark and disturbing, and he developed an unexplainable fear of the dark. The rumors of a curse intensified, and soon no one dared to go near locker 13. It stood there, a silent sentinel of dread, its metal frame cold to the touch, as if radiating an unseen evil. One evening, determined to break the curse, a group of students decided to investigate. They gathered around locker 13, armed with flashlights and a Ouija board, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. As they placed their fingers on the planchette, the air grew heavy, and the temperature dropped. The pointer began to move, slowly at first, then with increasing speed, spelling out a chilling message: "Beware the darkness within." Suddenly, the lights in the hallway flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. Panic seized the group. They scrambled to their feet, their flashlights useless in the suffocating blackness. Then they heard it. A blood-curdling scream echoing through the hallway, followed by the sound of metal scraping against metal. When the lights flickered back on, they were met with a sight that sent chills down their spines. Locker 13 stood open, its metal door dented outward as if something had tried to force its way out, and on the floor, lying amidst scattered textbooks and shattered pencils, was the Ouija board, its pointer pointing ominously at a single word: mine. From that day forward, locker 13 remained open, untouched, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked within its depths. And the curse? Some say it still lingers, waiting to claim its next victim. The legend of locker 13 grew, becoming a tale whispered among students, a story passed down through generations. New students would hear the tale and shiver, avoiding the locker as if it were a plague. Teachers too spoke of it in hushed tones, warning students to stay away. Despite the warnings, there were always a few brave souls who dared to challenge the curse, but they too would soon find themselves ensnared in its dark grip. The school administration tried to dismiss the rumors, even going as far as to replace the locker door, but the eerie occurrences continued. It was as if the curse was embedded in the very fabric of the locker, an inescapable shadow that loomed over anyone who dared to use it. And so, Locker 13 stood as a testament to the unknown, a relic of fear and superstition, a reminder that some mysteries are best left unsolved. The cursed locker remains a part of Westbridge High's history, a dark chapter that continues to haunt the school to this day. Whether you believe in curses or not, one thing is certain: Locker 13 is a place where darkness dwells, and it is best left undisturbed. As the echoes of these chilling tales fade into the night, remember that these are just a few of the countless horror stories whispered within the halls of schools across the globe. The line between reality and nightmare blurs, leaving us to wonder what unseen forces might be lurking just beyond our perception. If you enjoyed these spine-chilling school horror stories, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel for more terrifying tales, and leave a comment below with your own school horror stories. Who knows, maybe your story will be featured in our next video. And as you turn off the lights tonight, remember the eerie silence, the absence of music, that allowed these stories to truly seep into your bones. Sleep tight, and try not to let the shadows whisper your name.